Hello, I am Colette, and welcome to What's the Word? And today's edition of Events in African American History for February 1st. In 1865, John H. Rock, who lived from 1825 to 1866, a noted Boston lawyer, became the first African American to practice before the U.S. Supreme Court and the first black person to speak before the U.S. House of Representatives. In 1865, the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which abolished slavery, was adopted by the 38th Congress. Ratification was completed December 6th of 1865. In 1865, the same day Congress approved the 13th Amendment ending slavery, Charles Sumner introduced a motion that made John Rock the first black attorney to be admitted to argue in the Supreme Court of the United States. There was a celebration the day he appeared before them. In 1870, Jonathan Jasper Wright is elected to the South Carolina Supreme Court. He is the first African American to hold a major judicial position. In 1871, Jefferson Long of Georgia became the first black to make an official speech in the House of Representatives. He opposed leniency to former Confederates. In 1876, Elijah McCoy receives a patent for the steam cylinder lubricator. In 1887, J. Robinson patents the dinner pail. In 1926, what is now known as Black History Month was first celebrated on this date as Negro History Week by Carter G. Woodson. It became a month-long celebration in 1976. In 1960, 4 students from North Carolina A&T College started a sit-in movement at Greensboro, North Carolina 5 and Dime store. By February 10th, the movement had spread to 15 southern cities in 5 states. In 1965, actress Ruby Dee was the first African-American actress to play a major role at the American Shakespeare Festival in Stratford, Connecticut. In 1965, more than 700 demonstrators, including Martin Luther King Jr., are arrested in Selma, Alabama. In 1974, Good Times premieres on CBS, starring Esther Roll, John Amos, Jimmy Walker, Bernadette Stanis, Ralph Carter, Jeanette Dubois, and later in the 5th season, Janet Jackson. In 1976, Colin Luther Powell is promoted to the rank of colonel. In 1978, the first stamp of the U.S. Postal Service's Black Heritage USA series honors Harriet Tubman, famed abolitionist and conductor on the Underground Railroad. In 1990, Ida Wells, a black reformer who compiled records on lynching, is the subject of a United States Postal Service stamp. In 1990, in Greensboro, North Carolina, Joseph McNeil, Jabril Kazan, Azelle Blair, Franklin McCain, and David Richmond repeated the original sit-in of 30 years prior by having breakfast at the Greensboro Woolworth store. In 1997, BET Holdings and Encore Media Corp. launched BET Movies/Stars, the first 24-hour black movie channel. In 1997, Black Facts Online, the premier spot for Black history, goes online. Thanks for joining us today, and tune in tomorrow for another edition of What's the Words? Events in African American History.